So it's my pleasure to get to talk with you as well. We actually have a parallel meeting on campus about taking Berkeley to a zero net carbon, which was the meeting that both was in conflict and kind of speaks to the degree to which we're trying to practice many of these things at home. So that one of the neat features about this program is that everyone needs development, and this is not only about the poorest economies, although there's a big focus there. So I'm a physicist by training. I kind of moved into public policy as an accident, if you will, 2.5 decades ago. And here at Berkeley, not only am I a faculty in the program, but as Alice said, I'm chair of an interdisciplinary group. It's not actually a department called the Energy and Resources Group. We have master's and graduate and PhD track and an undergraduate minor track, and many of those undergraduate minors take some of the courses you see here listed. In terms of thinking about the aspects of development engineering, my own background is probably useful. I started out in this area when I moved out of physics into development engineering by working on clean energy in Nicaragua in the 1980s and 90s. And both when I was faculty at Princeton before moving to Berkeley 2 decades ago, my lab works on off-grid energy systems, almost exclusively renewable energy in East Africa, where we have a laboratory hub at the University of Nairobi. We've had a 20-year physical presence there, but also we have teams based in Rwanda, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and in Laos and Myanmar, where we're working on mainly mini-grid and distributed solar solutions. But increasingly now we're looking at large utility scale systems where we work in Mexico, in California, China, and then in East Africa. And I say those really to illustrate the types of areas where the courses you can see on this list fit together. We have courses in energy systems analysis and energy markets, on climate change mitigation, on scaling solutions, on electric power, both as an energy system, but also as an inhibitor or a driver of social and climate justice. A big theme on campus now. You can see several courses listed on this, like SPM 163 AC, that are focused on the sustainability and justice frontier. And so I teach 2 classes on campus. One is called Energy and Society. It's a large gateway methods class in the fall semester. And starting this spring, I'll be teaching a new class called Climate Justice, which is undergraduate mainly, but there'll be some graduate students in it as well. Both of them are linked to the program here. And really all of these are designed so that we can both look at the engineering and the systems integration side of clean energy and clean water systems, but also do so with the wider lenses of justice, which has become, thankfully, a big focus of activities, both for our work internationally and domestically. And I guess the one last thing to highlight is that one of the neat things about this program is that we have a whole number of linkages with frontline community groups. Professor Agogino and myself both have longstanding engagements with Native American communities. I work mainly with the Navajo in Arizona, New Mexico, and with the Rosebud in Minnesota and North Dakota. And we actually recently installed with the Standing Rock tribe the largest solar array in North Dakota, which is tiny by California standards, but it ends up so far being the largest in North Dakota. So something we have to change, but it's kind of this interface of doing science, policy, implementation. And so any questions you have, I'll drop into the chat and I'll post right now both the URL of my laboratory and then the Twitter feed, but much of what we do fits into this area. And you can see in this slide here, this is from a recent Nature article where we're looking at distributed off-grid solutions on the Mekong River system. And this is part of the work with the United Nations on the Sustainable Development Goal number 7, bringing energy access to the almost 1 billion people without it on campus.